Okay. So hi everybody. I've been sort of told that I'm to give a little bit of information about how all this started for me. A year and a half ago, I went to my very first psychic fair because I sort of was corralled into doing it. It wasn't something that I was sort of interested in. And I met this amazing lady. Her name's Teresa Cameron, and she's a psychic from Courtenay, BC. And she just told me all kinds of things that I didn't know that anybody would know, and sort of opened my world, I guess you could say. Then I took a meditation course from her, and I did some of her meditations. One was like this really deep breathing one, and when I did that, I saw this like little face come to me. I was lying flat. This little face came right to me like this, and he was about a 10-year-old boy with big blue eyes. And I reached out like this to grab him. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm in my room by myself. So it turns out that that was my father as a 10-year-old boy, and now I know that he thought I was in distress. So I understand that when I'm in distress or anyone's in distress, those guides that they often speak of that are around us come to see if we're all right, and they often come right here to the front of your face. So I've seen a couple now since, like I've seen it with other people, and so that's kind of took down this sort of veil between this world and the next, I would say. Then I started to do this automatic writing. I was like so pressed to like, oh, I just have to write this down. I didn't really know what it meant, and I was holding this pencil. I'm like, what is all this? So that was odd, but apparently I was a willing host for that. So we started doing that. Then I started seeing this sort of it was a really like gray space, as if it was like really foggy, and somebody that looked like human would sort of step forward out of it and tell me something, but it was really hard to hear. It was like they were speaking sort of through gurgly water, but I was kind of intrigued. I'm like, whoa, who's this guy? Because they all look kind of different. There was like a Peruvian shepherd, I don't know, from 12th century, and there was like a native from Africa. He had like black feathers around his head and a loincloth. So, and there was some children, like all kinds of like things were stepping forward. But about every second or third one, there was this high, clear voice, and it sounded like a bell that would be ringing, like just this beautiful, high, clear voice, and I could hear it. And they always said something sort of loving, and I'm like, that was different than all these voices of these people in the gray space. So I know there was a difference. So after about 10 of these folks, and then I'd go Google them and say, what was that? Who was that? And why do they look like that? And all this stuff. This clear voice spoke to me and said, you won't be able to hear them anymore. There's not going to be any more parlor tricks. So then I'm like, oh boy, what does that mean? So then one day I was lying down and I felt this like sort of pull in my mouth. It was actually, and immediately I thought, you are not talking through my voice. So then anyway, a couple of days later it went down, and I said, okay, I just opened my mind a little bit. So like, then I became curious again. So I opened it, and then they sort of said this really like, it was kind of blurby. It wasn't very clear, we'll say. And it was like, it was kind of odd like that. But I recorded it because I thought, I understand that I'm supposed to record things, and that's why I'm always recording everything. So then after that, they started telling these stories, and after they did so many of these, I thought, these can't be just for me. They're so beautiful. And I like weep a little bit, and they're just so loving. And so then I made the Facebook page, and I started putting them on there written. So that was like, so there's about 370 of them now. So that was the first ones. And then someone said to me, they said, it would be really nice if I could hear your voice. And as soon as they said that, I realized, oh, well, I record them all and then transcribe them. So then I started sending some like close people the voices. And then I realized that there's a resonance in the voice, that they're transmitting an energy there. So then I changed it to voices. And then I like, well, I guess I might as well do YouTube. You don't necessarily have to see what I look like, but you can hear my voice easily on this. So I'm like, okay. So it's sort of evolved into this, and I follow along, following the direction that they give me. And I guess I'm just curious about it, and I guess I'm a willing host. I've asked my other people to ask them why they want me to do it, why they speak through me, and they said that I'm a clear channel. I think that's all, maybe. And that I'm a clear channel, and that they will use anybody that will be clear enough for them to speak through. So they're all they care about is just teaching love and encouraging people to have a higher vibration. And their end goal is for you to channel love to everybody. That's really what they're doing. But they need you first to channel it in yourself first. They need you to love yourself. So in order to do that, they keep saying that they love us, they love us, they love us, they love us. So that's all. I just thought I should put that on there, because there's some folks now that are new and they don't really know me or how this journey is. So it's really new for me. It's only been a year and a half, but I feel compelled and directed each step of the way. So I hope you guys enjoy the videos. Thanks.